Hi Gems, it's your girl Ambra here and welcome back to my channel. You guys, I am testing out some new products today, those being the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powders that have been buzzing all around social media, as well as YouTube. You guys, a lot of girls are saying that this is a really good dupe for the La Mercier setting powders and or the Sacha Buttercup setting powders for deeper skin tones. So I wanted to try them out for you guys today and see how it turns out. So if you're interested in how these very affordable drugstore products work, then keep watching. Jump right into this video, you guys. I have already put on my primer and foundation, and the foundation that I have on today is actually my second bottle. This is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation and the shade Soft Sable. It has honestly been my absolute favorite foundation that I have tried thus far for the summer. I really am interested to see how it'll look for the fall, but it is flawless. Like, it makes my skin look beautiful. I've gotten so many compliments. I've already gone through my first bottle, and as I mentioned, this is my second. So that's all I did on my face as of now. I did already put my eyebrows on for the sake of time, but I'm gonna follow my normal routine with these powders. There are several shades that Maybelline offers in this brand, but I got the two deepest shade. I have 35, which is deep, and I have 40, which is dark. In my opinion, deep reminds me a lot of the concoction that I personally make with my medium deep La Mercier powder and my Sacha Buttercup. I mix those two together, and I have a separate container that's what I use to highlight underneath my eyes when I place the concealer there, as well as like my forehead, nose, cupid's bow, and chin. And then I grabbed 40 because I felt like it was the closest to my skin tone. So I want to see how this baby plays all over the face to set the foundation that I'm already wearing. And plus, I'm oily combination, so there's no going without powder. Okay, it's just not a part of my everyday routine and or life goals. So to give you a little spec on the product, you get about 0.7 ounces of loose finishing powder. On the back of it, it says it's a mineral-based formula that helps control shine and smooth skin texture. It's a lightweight translucent coverage for a fresh and natural look and can be used alone or over a foundation. One thing I love about this powder, it does have a 24-month shelf life. They are $7.99 at my local Walgreens, but I'm sure Walgreens nationwide or Maybelline.com or Ulta or where you find your normal drugstore makeup brands. However, what I love about Walgreens is most of the time for certain brands, Maybelline, CoverGirl, Rimmel, L'Oreal, they have a buy one, get one half off. So I was able to get two for literally a third of the price of one La Mercier setting powder, which retails for about $32. And then the Sacha Buttercup is about 20 bucks, but then it's coming from Trinidad. So you're talking about shipping and a longer lead time for you to get your actual product at your front door. So if you guys are looking for something that's going to be economical, I think this may be the best bet, but we have to see how she performs first because you do get what you pay for. You feel me? I don't have any concealer on right now. I just have my foundation, and I'm going to use one of my favorite concealers, which is the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Deep, and I'm going to apply it as I would normally do with any application on my channel and just in my everyday routine. So underneath my eyes, forehead, nose, using the same beauty blender that I used to apply my foundation, so it is already dirty since I've used it. That's cute. I tried to make it seem like it was clean before. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this in. I do like to wait a little bit, hence why I'm talking, for it to kind of dry down because I want it to be an easier application and have a little bit more coverage. I know we've all heard Jackie Aina talk about letting your concealer sit a little bit before you start blending it out, and I've actually incorporated that in my routine, and I have to say it is boss. Bomb, bomb, bomb. So now that it's dried down a little bit, I'm going to blend it in like so. And I also like to bring my concealer on my eye because I use that concealer to prime my lid for shadows. Contour, I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick in the shade Earth. I am super low, and one of my followers on Snapchat suggested me depotting it, and I will do that. But for right now, it's enough to get the job done. I'm going to place it in my cheekbone area and in the perimeter of my temple. And I like to do cream contours over powder contours 9 times out of 10. And so it's important that you do it before you apply your powder to set everything in place, because then it ain't moving. She ain't going nowhere once you put powder on top. And I've been loving my NYX professional makeup. It's actually, I purchased, oh, the brush number is 22, but I purchased it when I got their foundation, which is not in front of me right now, but I love it for how it fits in my cheekbone to really blend out my cream contour products. So now that I have all my cream products in place, it is now time to set before we get some major creasing from the concealer. But the one thing I can say what alleviates that happening by the time I get to my powder products is when I let that concealer dry down. So it allows things not to move around before I apply my powder. So before I apply my powder products, I like to go back in and just make sure I'm tapping in that concealer, because once you put powder on it, as I mentioned, it's not going to move. But we all know this, right? So the first shade I'm going to go in is 35, which is in the shade Deep. I really like this container because it's like a black square component, stackable, really cute for storaging purposes. Oop, I've made a bit of a mess. But I'm going to plop some of that in my lid, and she looks like that. Like very Sacha Buttercup and like Laura Mercier Had a Baby, right? So the first shade I'm going to go in with is the shade 35, and I poured a little bit in the top of the component, and I really like how square they are because they're going to be great for storage. Texture-wise, they feel very velvety. Really smooth. Actually, a little bit smoother than my Laura Mercier. So I'm going to go back in and dab my Beauty Blender and start applying it where I placed the highlighted concealer. All right, there you have it, you guys. I love how it melted into the skin. It's definitely blending into my contour really well. Like my cheekbone is popping, right? Because it's created a more lifted space that's typically sunken and darker because it creates shadow. But that is the number 35. But before I set my entire face with the 40 shade, I'm going to bronze with my Ebony bronzer in my contoured areas to kind of deepen that and make sure that that product stays in place. So I'm going to use my BH Cosmetics flat blush brush, kind of, and I'm going to use my Ebony bronzer from CoverGirl. I'm going to set wherever I put that cream contour, or well, foundation, but what I use for a contour. Everywhere I placed it, I'm going to put my Ebony bronzer right on top. See that? See how gradient that is? It's great. All right, so now that we have that in place, I'm going to go in with the shade 40, which is dark. Definitely richer in tone. I'm going to show you guys what this one looks like. As you can see, she's a little bit deeper, more my skin tone. And I'm going to go in with my, what is this? This is my Sephora round powder brush in the number 120. Did I need it? No. But is it cute and pink? Absolutely. So she came home with me. So I'm going to go ahead and dip this into my top. You can see it there. Flick off the excess. And then what I like to do to set my entire face so that she stays put all day is really push it into the skin like a swirl. And I'm just going to put that around my bronzer. And I like to put a little bit on top of my highlight to kind of tone it down if it's too bright. And then in the areas that I am more shiny, so like my forehead. See? press that in. It's definitely my complexion, so that's dope. That is the number 440 powder. I definitely feel that it was my skin tone, which was perfect for setting the entire look. You guys, I'm really feeling this powder. I'm gonna go off, finish the rest of my face, and then come back with my final impressions. All right, Jim, so I finished my entire face and my final impressions of the Maybelline Fit Me Loose powders. She's a keeper. Real talk, I mean, my skin feels super smooth. I feel like my overall look is flawless. I loved deep in my under eye. Like, I cannot wait to get my hands on more of this so I can give it to my girlfriends who I've been building their little like setting powder little things. Like, I've been mixing them and putting them in containers for them to use because this is bomb. I mean, for $7.99, you cannot beat this. I definitely feel like I want to try the shade One Lighter Than Deep, the medium deep, just to see how more lifted. But I love how flawless and effortless it was to put on. I love how velvety smooth the texture was. You guys, I don't know. You tell me in the comments below, like, what do you think? I used 40 all over the face and 35 everywhere that I applied concealer. So I don't know, my first impressions, I'm pretty stoked about this because I know I got time to be ordering online and waiting for things to deliver. And Laura Mercier, honey, she be taking all your coins. Like, and I want y'all to keep a couple of them. That's all I'm saying. But yes, also I did film this look, so it will be below. Don't come for me, y'all. Quite aggressive when y'all see a look y'all like and you're like, Ambra, where's the video? I filmed it. Trust and believe. I got you. So until the next video, gems, shine bright. Mwah. Bye.